learn about the Angus breed and the future of such a big part of the Australian cattle industry. Now, farming is absolutely dependent on a whole range of factors, and farmers deal with volatility like no other. Arlie Felton-Taylor is on the ground with the wonderful team from Rural Aid who do so much to help our farmers when times are tough.
Thanks very much, Lindsay. We've come from the pen over to the Pavillion. We're in the Mackenzie Pavillion where the Rural Aid stand is. Pertinent today because, of course, we've heard the federal government is going to be putting $519 million into a revamped rural drought fund. To get the word on the ground and a reaction to that money, let's go to John Walters. He's the CEO of Rural Aid. John, what do you think of that amount of money? Above $500 million, your thoughts?
I think any investment in agriculture is a welcome investment, and if it's an investment that's targeting helping people be more resilient and more sustainable, then I think it's especially important. Rural Aid, our Pulse of the Paddock survey this year showed that roughly 62% of our registered farmers, our 18,000 farmers, are on a journey towards that themselves. So if this funds flows through to people who are seeking to do that work or about contemplating doing that work, then I think that will be a really good outcome, because at the end of the day we do want producers to be resilient and sustainable, and some helping hands to make that happen would be really valuable.
I heard a lobby group comment today. AgForce said they want a hand up, not a handout. Does that resonate with Rural Aid as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's our motto at the end of the day. From a Rural Aid perspective, we say we stand with our mates in the bush and we provide that hand up and not a hand out. And it's really, really important difference there. And I think people, again, will embrace opportunities to help their enterprises be more sustainable and resilient. And if the government is pitching these funds in that direction with that purpose in mind, I think we'll see people absolutely embrace the opportunity.
We're reacting here to that political news, but what about the purpose of Rural Aid? We just spoke to someone who came all the way from Western Australia. They came up and had a chat to you and talked about friends of theirs who'd been assisted by Rural Aid. So you're in all states of this country. Yeah,
we're a national organisation, and we absolutely pride ourselves being able to support people wherever that challenge might be. And it's a big country, so we've seen that occurring right now in WA, where drought is a really significant factor. But we know people who've had bushfire experiences earlier last year, who've come through drought, who've come through floods. If they don't have those immediate things right in front of them, they're on this journey of recovering from them. And that's why we say we stand with our mates in the bush for as long as they need us, because we know when the headline fades, the challenge still remains. And from a Rural Aid perspective, if we can be there throughout that journey of recovery, then it absolutely means so much to those people.
Step us through some of the practicalities of the things you've been involved in. I mean, Queensland and indeed Australia, we are, of course, subject to so many, natural disasters, etc. What are some of the things on the ground that are happening?
So many people know us as Buy a Bale, and it was Buy a Bale that was the way that the Australian community could absolutely rally around drought, which was such a big factor for us back through the 2015 through to 19. And we've really evolved as an organisation, so we continue to provide hay and fodder for livestock. We provide financial assistance. We have a team of counsellors who have life-changing conversations every day with farming families. And we really feel the mental health and well-being is the big issue, that is the always-on issue. The need for that support becomes even more so during a time of disaster, whether it's a bushfire, flood or a cyclone. And so that's really important to us as well. But the other part of it is helping people on that sustainability journey. And at Rural Aid, we've recently launched a fund that is targeting that support. So part of it is helping people get the education, and then with the education, how they put that to work to make change on their enterprises that makes them more resilient and sustainable.
Sustainability and indeed preparedness, and we talked about that as well. But in terms of, and I'm giving you a free kick here, funding for charities and assistance from the federal government and assistance from the general public, run me through that and how that's been in the last little while. We all know things are tight generally in Australia for people. How are you going as a charity?
As a charity, it's mums and dads who are the primary funders of Rural Aid, and we're incredibly grateful for their support over many, many years. And we're coming up to our 10th anniversary year next year. They're valuable dollars that they contribute, and they give it because they want to be a part of the problem or solving those problems that our farming families are experiencing. And we're very grateful also for the support that we received from some of those bigger corporate enterprises and their generosity. And recently we've received some funds from the Western Australian government to assist with the work over there, and again counselling and wellbeing support. But we really come back to the point that what we do isn't possible without the donations and the generosity of the Australian community. And so we always encourage them to dig deep.
TV and dig deep, people, rural aid. If you just put it in a search engine, it'll take you right to their website. Back to you, Lindsay.
Arlie Felton-Taylor there with a...
We started Black Box Co